means that we are recording, and we are recording at normal speed. Yes, this is as fast as Neil and I go now. Which brings me on to the point that we are now both on the wrong side of 50.
Yeah, as opposed to just
some
Dave
more
last
wrong
time.
than the other. So yeah, I had a birthday recently, last week actually, I believe. Actually, it was a week. I was 50 last week, so
half a century.
my lovely daughters picked me up this because they know that I do love an Islay whiskey.
Anyway.
So here we have what Neil's going to do the wee bit. Oh, we're upside down again, Neil.
There you go.
So we actually have a bottle of, and Neil's going to pronounce it
Mac Talla Mara.
Mac Talla Mara. So absolutely no idea if that's how you pronounce it, but it definitely says Mac Talla
Mac Talla Mara. Mac Talla Mara.
So we're going to
have a wee half of Mac Talla Mara.
It does say it's basically an Islay. So what Neil and I are going to try and do is work out which, back there, very nice shaped bottle, very black, very nice, very striking. Again, the old heritage blue seems to be the favour of today.
So there's no information on the box apart from the fact it's from Islay. And it's the taste of Mara.
So before we open it up, we're going to take a wee guess
That's
on the distillery. That's all very nice. This is a very nice. We'll take this over here. See, we have a very nice one. Oh no, I think we went a bit close. We went a little close. I'm not shaking. Yeah, we're getting it.
Oh.
So it's a very nice little wooden cork there.
I hope the W is not for watch.
So we're going to have not Morrison Supermarket. Let's find out. Yeah, let's find out. So my kind of guess is going to be, it's probably going to be on the Collier, is my sort of guess. Because we all know that Collier produces whiskey from Johnny Walker and Smokehead and various others. So
it's in a green bottle, and it's actually quite, looks in the bottle quite clear.
It's time, Neil.
I don't know if you can see now. We should get a torch, but it's
in the glass.
Is that a green bottle or is that a brown bottle?
It's not far. Right, we're not going to smell it till it's in the glass.
I'm not going to smell
We'll go
it.
for that. Where's the camera? We'll go for that.
Two.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't think we're going to have a problem with the actual nose on this fella. Well, Neil does the technical stuff. We'll sort of stand up at
That's a bit.
You alright there, Neil?
That'll.
We're managing. You got that tripod fixed?
That's perfect.
It's okay because I've got one leg naturally longer than the other, so we should be fine.
Okay,
we're all good.
Fine, let's go.
Right.
Right.
What's the nose on this fella? Cheers.
There's.
So as I said, this was. Whoa! What is that?
Not a lot
This was a gift from my darling daughters.
Let's see how.
I was not expecting that. You must be able to smell that. It's like marzipan. It's like.
Well, actually, the only thing I can smell is some sweet marzipan. Well,
there is a little. I am getting a little cold.
I can't smell it. That's just your hint. You suggested.
If you can't smell that, there really is something wrong with you.
Yeah, I told you. I think it was COVID that's knocked me out for 6. I'm sure it'll come back.
Well, that's good.
I think I just need to drink more.
Well, that's certainly made it. That's a crowd pleaser. That smells gorgeous. It's sweet.
Wow.
Good. I'm actually a bit in anticipation. It's also.
I think you should put that away and keep it for later.
Is it gonna wipe out the? Oh, I can't see now. You've got your wee flappery thing round the wrong way again. Look. So we still haven't tasted this little fella, but are you suggesting that it's going to be a?
I think it's
going to kill all.
Remember the Bunnahabhain the other night?
Do you think it's up there? Is it?
Well,
and you poured me a large one.
You poured too much.
Oh, you requested I poured that again.
Is that not?
Yeah.
I think it's very sweet.
That's good. see when it touches your lips, See when you siphon petrol, you get that kind of burnt lip.
Yeah, but it's much better.
Yeah, but it burns like that.
Well, total contrast to the regeneration project.
We've went from an ideal beginner whiskey to, well, wow.
Yeah, but you can see you could have that. That's a kind of whiskey. The regeneration process kind of whiskey. You can have that at a meal. You could have that when you're having. Actually, I think that would actually go quite good with the trout I had tonight. But I think you could. But
I think
you certainly.
We'll try a little water. I think we'll try a little water in the meal before we can't
Is that right? We're just going to try one wee more.
No,
we'll try another wee.
Persevere. It's very nice.
You know what I think it is? I think it's not been anything against the old days and that old traditional bottle that you find in the beach for the hardened drinkers. It's got a real
This just brings out the flavours.
It's I think that's going to happen.
I think it kind of has a collier spirit smell to it.
Do you not think it's just a bit too out there? Oh, really? Really want comments on this, because if you know where this is from, we don't mind if you get in the comments and slag us off rotten for not knowing where this comes from.
It certainly comes from Islay.
Well, it says it in the box, doesn't it?
They're not lying there, it certainly comes from Islay.
Oh, actually managed to get a wee bit of a sniff there.
You should definitely get a smell, man. It really does leak. If you were planning on having a couple of whiskies, right? Not that we suggest that you ever do this. If you were planning on having a couple of secret whiskies before going home to the wife and kids, not this one. You're gonna smell it.
I can tell.
That's what this one is for.
I can tell that it's got that definite. Even from the taste, you can tell it's got a good, hearty bit of a nose to it.
Your whiskey is quite something. Sorry, daughter number 2 is standing at the door. It really is quite something.
Do you want to try some?
Do you want me?
Are you taking the cat for a walk?
Yeah. We have a ginger cat, which is not very clever. It likes to play with the traffic. So.
Mac Talla Mara.
Mac Talla Mara.
Mac Talla Mara.
It's certainly, I would suggest if you're going along to a dram night and you'd like something a little bit different, if you'd like something that everyone is going to talk about,
Mac Talla Mara.
Oh, how do we get it to you shall see the little badges here, which Neil handcrafts. Well, not programs into these 3D printer.
Yeah. Right, hang on. Let me just do a wee zoom in.
Oh, look at a little zoom in. I tell you, Neil, a couple of them and I'm going to have to be zooming in. That is quite strong stuff, isn't it? Right, you'll see just how shaky Neil's hand is the second that it leaves that.
I'm not actually going to take him off tripod, I've just zoomed in.
Oh, you just zoomed in. So
zoomed in.
So, are we talking about the badges then? Neil's handiwork.
Now you've seen the badges, right? Hang on.
You've seen the badges. Are you coming back?
I'll come back out. There we go. There we go. Need to do a wee bit of editing there, but never mind, that'll do. Yes, so
it'll be flawless when you actually get round to it.
Tell us a wee bit about. So we've got what we've got here. We've got Sligachan.
So back in
Sligachan. What's the word? You'll need to tell everybody what.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
SLROC.
This is the Scottish Land Rover Owners Club, and back in 2018, when the world was a different place, we all headed off.
Headed off.
We all headed off to Islay. visit Kilchoman Distillery.
Sorry.
Which,
just to be clear, that's the Isle of Islay.
The Isle of Islay, where we headed
Which is
to
how many distilleries? How many distilleries? Is there?
9 and counting. 9
distilleries. Yeah, I was reading that. There was supposed to be one being built on the way into Bunnahabhain, coming in from the north. Can't remember what it was called. I need to come and see what it was called. But on a farm. But it was
talk of a super distillery, but I don't know.
This was
quite like the idea.
No, this was a wee.
Just a small
farm facility, yeah. But it doesn't seem to have got off the ground, unfortunately.
When we were on Islay last year, I do remember someone in the distillery mentioned that there was investment for an enormous distillery. But the locals, obviously the other distilleries, didn't like the idea of maybe,
because there's Port Ellen.
We're not going to try and mention them all, are we?
No. Port Ellen's under construction just now.
Well, I'm sure.
Anyway, so when we were there in 2018,
we went to Kilchoman.
Yes. So on the wee trip, you might notice that before we go into this, I was still telling the badges. You might notice the badges are slightly different, and they're based on the Land Rover badges.
Seems like this is my good side. You see my ball patch?
So it's this wee badge here is done like the old station wagon badges, which has got Ian O'Gill in it. So Ian O'Gill was, I suppose you could call him a famous storyteller from Islay. And Dave's family, I can't remember who it was, the family that actually told the story. It was Arran, told the story over the weekend, and they won the award for the best story for the weekend. Whether it was a tall tale or not, I'm not too sure.
If there was a couple of rams, then there were probably a couple of stories.
Yes, lots of stories.
But that is how it works.
So they won that badge anyway. So carry on, tell us about Kilchoman.
So we decided to take the Land Rover Club over to Islay on its 60th birthday, like I said, back in 2018, because there's a very strong connection with Kilchoman Whisky and Land Rover, which I'm sure we could possibly have a little talk on one night. We could
do a wee special on that. Yeah.
But before we go off on a tangent that direction, the trip was such a huge success on the late night ferry, and it was a late night ferry, back across to the mainland. We all agreed that it wasn't to be a one-off, and Steph and I quickly got on the phone and figured out that we could find other distilleries that would give us a bottle of whisky. So the very next year, we were all heading up to the Isle of Mull, where we visited. This is not scripted, by the way. We'll see how far we get.
Ledaig.
We visited the Torabhaig Distillery and we got Ledaig, which, to be honest, to this day is still, I think, the best surprise. Torabhaig Distillery, for me, not that well spoke about, heard of. I knew Torabhaig had a distillery, which is why we went to Mull. But when they brought out their peaty version, game changer.
Yeah, it was unfortunate when we were there. Was there not a drought when we were there?
There had been a very dry season.
They're refurbishing.
Yes.
They're refurbishing the distillery when we were
but
there.
for you are right on the drought. For the first time in many years, they actually had to stop producing whisky because they didn't actually have enough rainfall.
On the west coast of Scotland. Not enough rainfall.
But so since then, I've bought many 10-year-olds. The bottle we got for the club is actually a 14-year-old. It's a very nice bottle. We've had the 18-year-olds, we've had the 21-year-olds, we've had the 22-year-olds, and my top tip would actually be that the 10-year-old Ledaig is simply, I think, certainly one of my favourite whiskies. It's up there with Laphroaig, but it's like Laphroaig with a little bit dried fruits and sweetness, and it really is a very, very nice whisky. You also get a red wine cask one, a ruby cask one, which has, if I remember, there was a Spanish ship shipwrecked off the coast of Mull, and it was full of rubies and various other gems. So they actually brought out this ruby cask, which I'm assuming, if I remember correctly, is a red wine. Yeah, one of those is a
Roja.
Is that a red wine cask?
Roja, yes.
Red wine cask. Yes, and then after Mull again, beautiful trip. And if you haven't been to Mull, certainly head to Mull and over to Iona, which is gorgeous.
So that was 2019.
2019.
You know what's coming next.
And
all hell broke loose.
Was that the COVID? Yeah. Just as the plan was coming together, and we were supposed to be going to Rassie at that point, but with
no,
cancelled.
No, we weren't supposed to be going to Rassie at that point. We were supposed to be going to Skye.
Oh, right, we got Skye.
We were supposed to go to Skye at that point.
Yes, with the Torabhaig we were getting there, but we're going off track. So let's all ignore COVID.
Well, no, you can't ignore it because the only reason we went to Arran
after it 4
that
days
year was because we couldn't fit in. Skye couldn't take us that year, so we had to go somewhere a bit more local. So we went to Arran.
Well, the COVID year was cancelled completely. We all sat here and had a drama and felt sorry for ourselves.
Yeah, but okay.
So the following year, let's keep up. The following year, we decided to go to Arran because it was, for most of us, an hour's drive and a ferry trip. So we held a Land Rover trial on Arran, which was all very serious, and it was very serious. A lot of laughs and a lot of fun. And we got a bottle of Arran whiskey, which I don't think I actually have a bottle or a box, because Steph uses the bottles for candlestick holders. Believe it or not.
So,
oh no, look up there, Neil, up there. We have a bottle of, or a tube of Arran. Again, this is actually I think this is the red wine cask, which is actually a very nice bottle. So, after Arran, we decided to. I can't quite remember how it worked. We're still trying to get to Skye. We've been trying to get to Skye, but it was. This is why we actually require Steph out here to give the details. I think I actually had an idea for a game in my head.
Well, when did I go pick up Torabhaig? When did I go to Land Rover?
In the year of.
That was when we went to Arran. So that was when we went to Arran. Early on in the year, beginning of the summer in 2021, I went up, did a day trip from Stirling up to Skye to collect.
Because we were supposed to have the Skye gathering.
63 bottles.
63 bottles
of the Torabhaig.
Which is a very nice whiskey, as we discussed.
Mind you, I actually picked up, which was their first bottling, and I picked up 64, much to the disgust of the salesperson of the show, because they were running short of supplies and it was one per customer. So I sped off with 64 bottles.
What I did like on the Torabhaig tour that we did this year is when the lady who was doing the tour, very nice lady, and she asked if anyone had tried the first edition, and a couple of us had said yes, and then she says, has anyone still got one? And we said, well yes, we've got 64 of them. And she was we don't have 64, the club has 64.
Between us.
And she says, has anybody still got one? We think, well yes, we think there's still 64 of them. So, quite a good
63 actually.
So, I then had an idea for a game. So, my wife and I, Steph and I, had a couple of glasses of whiskey and we watched Whisky Galore. And we decided that we were going to have a little game with the Land Rover Club. And the only place that you can really do that on an island has got to be Islay. And Bunnahabhain had actually offered to give us a very nice bottle of whiskey, or sell us a very nice bottle of whiskey with our name on it. So when the two of those things came together, the Scottish Land Rover went across to Islay and we done Whisky Galore, where we visited all 9 of the distilleries, and I think we probably bought bottling most of them. So we got all the bottles anyway. And what was very nice actually is all the distilleries supplied us with a signed bottle of whiskey, which we put in an old wooden cask, which I think again you can post a photograph. And the prize for the game of Whisky Galore, somebody won. all 9 signed bottles of Islay Whisky, which was...
Was that a good idea?
It was...
In hindsight, was that
well, they're all still together, and
They are still together.
we believe that they're not being touched.
I believe they're in somebody's wardrobe somewhere.
It's a very nice box, very nice box of
With a very big, large padlock on the wardrobe.
So
I think it's maybe the only wardrobe in Scotland that's maybe got a padlock on it.
From a certain. So Whisky Galore, I'm pretty sure at some point on our new webpage.
Yes, we've got a website now.
I'm sure on Neil's new webpage, which I'm sure he's going to get a little plug in here.
I think
we will do a detail on the game of Whisky Galore, because it really was. It was a brilliant weekend, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
It was a brilliant weekend.
So it's just while we're at it, it's stilltalk.net, or if you want to do whiskypassport.co.uk, that'll take you to a new website. And yes, we'll have lots more information about these events.
So the Skye Gathering we done 2 weeks ago, and the Rassay Rove we done 2 weeks ago, because the Skye Gathering was the cancellation on the COVID year. So it's 6 years, 6 badges. 1 year we done nothing, so this year we done 2.
So
and we really did do both trips. We done the Skye Gathering, which was, well, a gathering on Skye, and we all had...
But that was based on the Torabhaig Distillery.
That was based on the Torabhaig Distillery, where we all got together. We had a ceilidh and a couple of drams.
At the Sligachan Hotel.
At the Sligachan Hotel.
Fantastic hotel.
Who looked after us like we were royalty. We really did. We were very well looked after.
We all took over the whole hotel and a good chunk of the campsite next door. Fantastic location. Couldn't praise them anyway.
No, fed well.
Yes, food was fantastic. Buffet we had at the ceilidh was great.
And the whisky bar, the bar up at the Sligachan Hotel is, well,
yes,
extensive, shall we say. Extensive. And right in the middle, Johnny Walker, Quint Ladle, you can see it perfect. So after
basically we did Torabhaig on the Friday, and we did Rassay.
We did the Rassay on the Saturday. Rassay Distillery, as we're going to do in a video, Rassay Distillery is
just
really
a wee gem. It's a wee hidden gem. It's well worth the trip. And the whole story behind the distillery is just what distilleries should be more distilleries should be like the Rassay Distillery.
The view from Rassay Distillery with a little Rassay whisky. The view is, on a good day, on a bad day, it doesn't matter. The view from Rassay Distillery is spectacular.
Yeah, but the whole premise behind the distillery as well is what they bring to the community, and it's how there's so many people, local people, working that distillery. The employment, I can't remember the percentage. I think it's 1/5 of the people that live in, work in the island, work in the distillery. So it's obviously got a big part.
Yeah, everyone does everything.
Yeah.
So no one's really in charge. You may be, if you are in charge today, you'll be sticking labels on bottles through the evening into tomorrow.
So the only thing they do everything on the island, apart from they don't boil the barley, bring the barley in, and they can't grow it on the island because it just doesn't suit, the land doesn't suit that, so they have to buy it.
But they are planning on opening a distillery near the Weetu, and they will, and they want to actually farm their own barley near Campbelltown, Mull, so that they can bring their own barley up, malted to Rassay, so that they are producing their own spirit, their own whisky. But Rassay Distillery, so we bought 65 bottles of whisky, I think, was it this year? 65 bottles?
Well, it would be consistent with your 5th year.
Yeah, so I think 65 bottles of whisky, and I mean, we took or was it 72 people across for the tastings and the tour? And I think we all bought quite a few bottles of whisky as well. But Rassay Distillery looked after us again. I mean, the buffet lunch, the drams, the tour.
I would say
history.
Tours that we've had, it was right up there.
Yeah.
The insight,
Excellent.
The whole story wasn't just about how he distilled whiskey, etc. It was the whole story about the whole distillery, how the distillery came about, and where they see themselves going in the future. Just
well, they take you back to the Highland clearances and the population of the island, and they really do. It's just a cracking little trip. Now, from Skye, it's only 30 minutes on the ferry.
If that.
If that. So you've got to get to Skye, but if you do find yourself near or on Skye, don't drive by the Rassy ferry, jump on the Rassy ferry, get yourself across, and I'm sure they'll make you feel as welcome as they made us, because they really did. We were there from, well, Steph and I were there from, I think around 9 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
But we're not going to get into too much of that, because we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, that's a later on.
Yeah.
But definitely Rassy Distillery is a must see. Which basically, yeah, so that's us filling in with our badges. And next year, we're off to the Wee Toon, where we're going to Campbelltown for the weekend to do, well, it's all a bit hush-hush just now. We have had a few...
it's not going to be hush-hush.
It's not going to be hush-hush very long. Well, we just did.
No, let's keep that one. Let's keep that
We've had a yes from the distillery, we've had a yes from the campsite. We've had a yes from the entertainment, shall we say. We're still waiting for a yes for the hotel, and then we shall release.
Good. That all sounds good to me.
It all sounds like a... And I think we're going to do... And I've spoken about this anyway, I think we're going to do a prohibition game. And that's going to be the...
You know the good thing about going to Campbelltown? If you go the long way around, you can go via Islay, because it's just a wee short.
That is the long way around.
That's what I'm planning. That's certainly what I'm planning.
What I am thinking